It is popping, fam. Happy Saturday. Good to see everybody on. Y'all know the vibes. If you're tuning in live or on the recording, we are wrapping up the Power One More. I'm so excited to finish out this discussion and wrap this up as we enter into the Christmas weekend. Got Christmas Eve manana, Christmas Day on Monday, and then the New Year coming around the corner. And honestly, super dope to be finishing on time with this book in a timely manner, truly. So one, appreciate everybody who's been plugged in, appreciate everybody who is tuning in, whether you've read the book or not. Y'all know the vibes. We're going to discuss the chapters that we read over this past week. And if you haven't read, you can just talk about exactly what biggest points stood out to you. And then prepare for next book because next book's gonna be something serious. Just a quick announcement, uh, and I'll make sure to repeat it at the end. The next book we're gonna read is called Don't Drop the Mic by TD Jakes, and we are in light of the Unlimited event coming next weekend, going to be canceling the book club up until the following weekend. So you've got 2 weeks to go and get that book. You can go to the book club discussion in the chat on the app, and the links to buy the hard copy are there. The links for the audiobook are there, and there's also a free downloadable PDF that you can get from the updated library button in the book club tab as well. Shout out Mr. Steele. So make sure you guys are prepared, but we're gonna be wrapping up chapters 18 and 19 to finish out The Power of One More by Mr. Ed Mylett. Do we have any brave souls that want to discuss the biggest points and takeaways that they read?
Me.
Donovan, we appreciate y'all. Appreciate you, bro. Go on ahead, big dog.
Ah, what's poppin', right? Happy Saturday. Much love. Thought it was only gonna be me, Marcus, and Mikhail, because we was out here for a little bit. But good to see everybody on. I'm excited because these chapters smack, um, and then especially leading up into our next book, ending this book the way it ended. If you know, you know. But just to get into it, you know, um, something that really stood out to me is continuously growing upon that faith through prayer. So, chapter 18 is the power of one more prayer, if you don't know. And so, in that, just growing upon the faith through prayer, um, because it's really powerful. Uh, we can we consistently get our faith tested, uh, and our beliefs tested. Like, I mean, as far as like, what is it that you believe your reality is? Like, what are you telling yourself? What are you having the faith in? Are you having the faith and belief in like the struggle and like, damn, this not working, it's not working out, it's not gonna work out, whatever. Or is it, yo, I don't know what, but I'm head down, focused, grinding, having the faith that it's gonna work out. And with that faith comes action towards the result. Um, there's no like you're not gonna get the results and the blessings if you're not moving towards that in all areas of life in flow. And that's something that I've been learning and working upon, and definitely notice and seeing how it is that as I've been growing upon that and really diving into working in flow, like, and have not taken off different caps and putting them on, having one cap and having everything flow together mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, like, um, in tune. Um, and in that process, just seeing how before when I wasn't and the results then compared to now, the results now, like, yeah, it's still a struggle, but God be coming through. And I know it's because I'm consistently working on the power of one more prayer, praying when not when it's just bad, but also praying like when it's good, praying every day. And um, as we do that, just making sure that our prayers are congruent with God's will. Like, my prayers, I gotta know you're working, continue to use me as a vessel, and through those prayers of strength and wisdom, like, I seeing things just come, boom, where what I'm praying for, I'm getting, and just working on the perspective and seeing what I'm seeing and how I'm seeing it. Like, am I seeing it like, damn, why is this happening? Or like, all right, accepting it and moving on. And I've definitely been in a spot of being tested between that and just like accepting the pressure, letting it go, releasing it through praise and worship, and just crying. Sometimes we need it. And definitely had a moment the other day, and through that, just realizing through prayer, like, I'm the one, and God made me who I am for this moment, and just moving forward. And then with chapter 19, one last one more, it just goes in on like taking the actions and continuously working and doing like extra, doing what you can, doing more than you need, to eventually get to where it is that you want. One thing that stood out to me, you see, bro. Um, let's see, bro. All right. So she said, all right, bet. So in chapter 19, it talked about the like everything has an expiration date, and just moving with a sense of urgency in life, taking action upon your dreams, your goals, and your purpose and your vision, and really just moving upon that, knowing that you have an expiration date, and we never know when that expiration date is. So, giving it all you got today, because you can die tomorrow, and then doing it again today, as in tomorrow. So every day, just like going hard, and as I've been growing, definitely been seeing it, and it's definitely not easy, but just accepting the challenges, accepting the hard parts, and just continuing to push, continuing to grind, and grow, because there's beauty in the struggle, and what do they say? Diamonds are found under pressure. So that's my insight on the chapters. Much love, everybody. I'm leave it open to whoever wants to go.
I'll go. So, I unfortunately did not get to read these two last chapters, but my son did remind me that the call that I miss is the call that it's going to be most needed. And definitely, just from hearing what Donnie said, I definitely needed this. But the power of one more prayer off of what Donnie had to share. I'm a believer in prayer. And this week, with those who don't know, my grandson had a very hard entry into this world. And my faith and applying my action and my faith was definitely called for. So thank you to all of those who lifted Micah and Anna up in prayer, because our prayers were answered. And it's, again, like Donnie said, it's not just praying when you're only in need. It's forming that part of your routine. It's part of you being you, of who you are. Praying in the morning, talking to him during the day, praying at night, just lifting somebody up who is in need of a prayer. It definitely goes a long way. And a lot of the times people I've seen, even, me in the past, I would say a prayer and really not think of the faith that needed to go behind that prayer. But when those two connect, it's something powerful, something very powerful, and miracles are created, and prayers are answered. So for chapter 19, the one last one more, Marcus always says we all have an expiration date. And I never really had too much thought behind that statement. We can get caught up in our daily lives where you may go without thinking that this might be our last. You really don't think about that until something happens, tragically. And a lot of that comes to play for me at the end of the year, because it gets a little emotional with the death of my sister. You can talk to somebody an hour before they pass and not knowing that that's going to be their last, or find an understanding. Whatever your goals or dreams may be, if it's mending a relationship with your sibling, if it's mending a relationship with your significant other, we have to try our hardest. It's work. It takes work. We can't just stay idle in whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. Again, even if it's a goal, a relationship, we all have to take action. And I know sometimes it's hard to do that when things aren't really on your side. But again, that leads right back to chapter 18 with your faith and your action in that. So, son, thanks for telling me to get on, because it's been a week. It's been a week. So thank y'all. Whoever wants to take it.
I'll take it. I'm so glad that you came on, Mama, because you definitely, first of all, Marcus is so right about the one call that you miss is the one call that you may need. And I love that you're on because who cares if you didn't read? Like you'll get to it. You know, you had a long week, and just seeing your face is everything. You mean a lot to all of us on here, and you're the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always that person that's like the heart and the glue to like a team or like a community, and you're definitely that for a lot of us. So I love you, and I know you know that, and I know you know we've been praying, but I'm so glad that your baby boy is home with you because there's nothing more special right now. So I love that for you. But really quick, I did write some notes, which I'm just going to read off of because it's just easier for me. Chapter 18, Power of One More Prayer. So he mentions how prayer is like the most dominant and driving force in a man's search for spiritual peace and truth, right? And that really stuck with me because it just really all comes down to that, you know? He says, like, what is faith? And faith is believing in something you can't see or touch, literally. And when you have that faith, like, man, it's going to be so awesome. It's going to be so great. And you haven't even seen it. You haven't seen a receipt. You don't even really know how you're going to do it. It's so much more awesome going into something like wanting to, achieve your goals with that at the core of your heart, at the center of your everything. I mean, I think I read in that chapter that he says, to live a full life, you don't need to know everything. I know for myself, I didn't think that even up until a majority of this year. I thought, man, I have to know everything about real estate to get started. Going through the modules, I got to do it. And nah, man, like you don't need to know everything. You just need to know enough. You just have to know a little bit and then have faith in yourself to then put in a little bit of action, which is so, so great. And when I say you don't, I'm talking to myself. And through myself, I hope I'm getting through y'all. So, the notes I put here, Michelle just put in action. Michelle, just act on your dreams, act on your goals, practice prayer, and saturate, but like fully saturate your life in faith. I can't lie to you guys and tell you guys that, I live in a 100% faithful life because I would be literally lying. And that's one thing that I just don't do, especially to myself. Sometimes I still be a little bit skeptical. And I hope I'm not the only one that is in that, bucket. And I'm not too proud to say that. But it's been really dope in the last couple of weeks, just as we get to like a few more days closer to celebrating like the birth of one of the most amazing things ever. God, it's just so amazing to live a life and have and know the purpose, and have the faith. It just makes things so amazing. Chapter 19 talks about the power of one more, and he just goes into depth about what that means for him. And I think I touched on that when we started chapter 1. How he mentioned how he dealt with, his dad's alcoholism, but his dad was like his hero because his dad still showed up, and so perseverance, the power of one more is having the perseverance to show up for one more day. So work in congruence with God to control the story of your life, Michelle. Live in alignment with your values, have the willingness. You want your life to shine. You want your life to be elevated. So don't break your congruence. And so give it one more try, show up one more time, build one more relationship. You were not born to be average or ordinary. You already know that. You were born to do something great. So go do it. And then I put hashtag 2024. Let's get it. Don't play with us. I be laughing at my notes sometimes because it's just dope. I'm really, really excited for today, the present moment, not knowing, having 4 days off, not really having a plan, but just going with it. I too was gonna spend the holidays, at home, just deep cleaning the vibes, just kind of, you know, doing my thing just because, like you, Mama, these last 4 days and up until Christmas bring a lot of sadness, but to my life, but not really, you know, because I'm looking at it in a different perspective, and it's not. I'm not saying it's not hard because it really is, but just not knowing like 2 years ago where my life would be today, I thought, yeah, man, let me just pack my bag and head to Houston with Dylan because it really is the love and the laughter and just being around people that really gets you like sometimes to wake up the next day, you know. So I'm really appreciative for all of you guys. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I love you guys. I really do. But yeah, amazing book. I'm so like I too, Marcus, I'm so happy that this is the book that we ended this year on. And like, cause it couldn't be like a much better start to an amazing kickoff. I'm excited to see some of you guys on Sunday. I'm excited for our event coming up, you know, next weekend. So dope. So dope. So I never thought that I'd be ending this year with a similar event that I started to go to this year, but held by our own team. So that's like really dope. Dylan and I were reflecting on that on the way here. We're like, this is like our like TGF break the code. Like what? It kind of like hit us a little bit, not gonna lie. So I'm really proud of everybody. I really, really am. If I haven't told you that, like individually, I really am proud of y'all. It's so good to see everybody on the call: Matthew, Nito, Austin, Kayla, Mikkel, Donovan, Marcus, Tia, Amber, Mama Mary, and Elijah. I haven't met you, but I love you and I hope you have an amazing holiday. Love you guys.
Yo, real quick, Michelle, can you tell them I said hi? Merry Christmas. Don't forget.
Hey everyone, I'll go next. One second. Mama Mary, I wanted to say I'm so happy that you're on the call, and I love you so much. And like Michelle said, you are the heart of our team, and the love that you have for us is so amazing. And thanks for like it's not thank you. What's the word I'm trying to use? It's inspiring that you still showed up on the call after a week that you've had, you know, because it's so easy to write it off. It's so easy to be like, I got other things going on, you know, but the fact that, you still show up, for yourself, for us, for your family, like that energy that you're putting out is really, really good. So inspired by you. So also I wasn't able to finish the past 2 chapters this past week. No excuses, holding myself accountable 100%. I'm going to finish them today. But one of the things that I was excited about reading in the next 2 chapters was the power of prayer. And that's something that I've been diving into more myself. I've been working on a lesson for the Powerful Creators community over like the different types of prayer, and like through me creating that lesson and reading this like next chapter, I just started to take a look at my prayer life more and more, and how, our prayer is our relationship with God, like the core to any relationship is communication. And whenever we're praying, we're in communication with God, and there's times where we think that we have to, like, we can only pray like when we're at home or at church or at certain places, like when we're in certain states, but really we can always reach God. We could always, tap into prayer. Even right now I can, pause and say, thank you, God. And I'm speaking to God, and I'm in prayer in that moment, talking to him. And so I'm excited to read this next chapter and hearing y'all talking about prayer over and over and over again, especially with the holidays and like this season. For some reason, I didn't think that it was gonna hit me in any like negative way at all this year. But it kind of has, I had like some emotions like that I've had to process that I didn't expect to be feeling like during this time. And really, just having the time to like sit down and just pray and like just talk to God and strengthen that communication with God has really, really helped me and just helped me get clearer and clearer on my purpose, on my why, and really have like grace on myself, and has really helped me feel like the love and the protection that God has over me. And it's just like, and then plugging into y'all and all of our faith towards God, and honestly, like how upfront TGF like talks about God has really, really helped me and inspired me to just dive deeper into my relationship with God. And so that's been amazing and great and awesome. And I appreciate all of y'all. And I appreciate this call and this community, and also like the accountability like with this call, because there's like times where I don't want to get on the calls either because I hadn't read and I feel like guilty and all of these things, but I'm like, no, like that's not what this is about. I don't need to feel guilty. No one's mad at me. Like I didn't do anything wrong. Like I know, I'm holding myself accountable to what I said that I was going to do. And if I didn't do it, then I gotta, I gotta shut up. I gotta own up for it. And I gotta, do it better next time, and I always have a second chance, and I always have, I'm always going to show up again, like literally like what we're talking about, like the power of one more, like I'm gonna get another call. There's another week to do it. There's another time. So that is all I have to say about that. Anyone who wants to go next? I'll pick someone actually. Let's see. Kayla. Hey girl.
Hi, I was gonna say I could go next. Hi guys, it's good to see everybody on this morning. I love this, kind of like Michelle said, I love that we're ending the year with this specific book and these specific chapters. Also, I'm losing my voice, so super scratchy, but I did want to say, Mama Mary, I am super proud of you for just like staying firm in your faith. And I know, especially having gone through similar situations with Camilo, that it was really, I felt like preparing and doing Bible study this year and all the things that we've been doing kind of helped us prepare for that moment to like stay so strong in that faith. Because for both Camilo and Micah, like I wasn't worried about them. I feel like our faith was so strong that we knew not to worry, but it was just a sad situation. And I'm so glad we had our faith to fall back on and to like just be so strong in that. So I'm super proud of you too, and Anna, for staying strong and just continuing the prayers over him and over y'all's family. And I'm so happy he's home, and he's so cute. So, all right, you guys. So for this last book, I didn't finish all of the last chapter yet. It was called Power of One More. But I finished all of One More Prayer, and I loved that chapter. I really like how he just kind of goes into the chapter explaining that like he's not trying to put his like beliefs on anybody. He's just trying to be honest and real about his faith and what he believes in. And it's not that he's trying to preach or get you to believe, like he's just being honest and open. And kind of how we talked about already, but just like pairing faith with prayer. It's like you can't have one without the other. You have faith and you have prayer. And while those are different, you can't have faith and not prayer, or prayer and not faith. Like they go together. And putting those two together, I feel, is like a superpower. It's like, okay, we have this faith and now we have this prayer, and we have this ability to speak words of life over ourselves, and to say prayers over ourselves, to say prayers over other people. And like, that's where other people's faith strengthens, our own faith strengthens, and just we're able to share his word more and his love more. And I know he talked in the chapter about you always make other people feel things. You always make other people feel your energy, or you walk into a room and can feel other people's energies, and just having like your cup full of just like that prayer, having your cup full of that faith and that love that God has, so that when you do walk into a room, somebody else feels that too. Somebody else feels the Holy Spirit. Somebody else feels the presence of God as you're walking into the room. And I like how he said, there was one area which I loved. He said, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. He said, my Almighty God, he created everything, or he did not. Like there's no, and it's kind of like we talked about before, like there's no in between. He's all in. Like he created everything or he didn't. And you kind of pick your side. And I'm glad that all of us picked the side of he created everything because he did. And he's the one that we were able to fall back on and pray to. And he spoke about how he spoke about the power of faith and prayer and how combining those two, you are never alone. You are never alone. So regardless if you are physically alone, you are not alone, because you can go into your room, you can go into a prayer closet, you can go into your car and talk to somebody, talk to him. And what better person to talk to about anything that you're going through than him? It's so, honestly, y'all, it's so amazing to be able to say that we can talk to anybody at any time and not feel like he's not listening to us. I mean, we may feel like sometimes we're not being heard, but like prayer produces the action, and then we see that. We see that our prayer produces action, and that he is able to come through and stand firm on his promises. He even says in the book, it's difficult to express the feeling that faith and prayers have to someone who doesn't regularly practice these beliefs. And so it's difficult to explain that to somebody. So why not just show them? Why not just show them all of the things that your faith and your prayers do? Like, we could be going through, and we have gone through some of the worst seasons, yet we're still smiling, we're still being positive, we're still showing up for ourselves, even though we're out here struggling, and people can look at us and be like, how are you still doing good? How are you still like happy? And it's like, because I know who has my back. Like, I know that my God is with me. And while I can't express my feelings to you of how good it is, like, you're seeing me going through something so difficult, yet I'm still keeping the faith. I'm still keeping my smile, my positive energy. I'm still out here like showing up, all the things. And so while we can't express it to somebody, or it can be difficult to express this type of love that God gives us, we can show them through our actions and through our steps of what it looks like to walk with faith, to walk with prayer, to walk with God. And I like how he spoke about, it's kind of towards the end of the chapter, but you can't control everything. And for me, controlling things, because I always like to control things. I'm always like, I want to control this, or I want to know the next step, or I want to know what's the next part of the plan. And he kind of addressed that in the sense of like, you can't control everything. Control and harness and the energy you put is critical to how you while you function in the world. Like, you kind of have to let go of that control a little bit in order to increase your faith, because it's in the unknown where our faith just like skyrockets, because we don't know what's going to happen. God provides, and then your faith gets stronger. So I really just like overall loved this chapter, and I want to read it again. Actually, I listened to the audio, and I think y'all should listen to the audio too, because the way that I love listening to his audio, because you can like hear when he gets like riled up, or like hear when he's like, boom, listen to this point. So I want to listen to the audio again because this chapter was amazing. And then I'm excited to finish the last chapter of One More. So that was my interpretation and take. And yeah, it's good to see you guys all on this morning. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's Saturday and a good Christmas. And yeah, whoever wants to take it next can take it next.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
go ahead. Go ahead, Austin.
That's awesome. But yeah, what's going on, y'all? Happy Saturday. Feel like this week flew by. Blinked and it was already Friday yesterday. But I got through chapter 19 and most of 20. But so obviously, like everybody else talked about, the power of prayer. I don't know, I can't emphasize enough how powerful prayer is. Because I have been in some pretty crazy situations in my life, as I've grown up and gone through, my journey. And, just I don't know, like over the last month or so, just really reflecting about how, like, where I was to where I am now. And the fact that, I'm not obviously not proud to say it, but I used to get mad at God a lot, just because I felt like things were being done to me and not for me, and not really acknowledging my part in everything. So, just the fact that he is so loving and gracious and merciful, because he definitely could have just said, all right, you want to you want to do that, well, I'm gonna go this way and you can do this thing on your own. But um he never gave up on me, even when I would do that, and then I would pray to him later, and he would still be there. But especially in this season of my life, where there's a lot of uncertainty right now, but I'm also the most certain that I've ever been that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to. Um, and you know, I don't know. I've seen some miracles go on in my life that I couldn't detest the presence of God even if I wanted to, because there's no other explanation for the way that things worked out and how they worked out, if there wasn't God, you know. So just the power of going to Him, whenever you need something, whenever you're grateful for anything. I talk to God all day and tomorrow. So because I know that, especially at this point in my life, I need that presence, and I want that presence in my life, because at the end of the day, there's no more important relationship, and there's nothing more important than our relationship with God at the end of the day, because all this all this that we have on earth and all that we are right now in our physical body is going to be gone, and all we're going to have left at the end of the day is our relationship with Him, and where we stand with Him at the end of everything, is what really matters. So that kind of leads into the power of one more, because you never know when it is going to be, your time, or when it is going to be that one last, your one more, you know what I mean, for anything, as far as like going to the gym, seeing your family, last Christmas, last birthday, whatever the case may be. You just really never know when it is that one more. So just take the time to really be present and appreciate everything that you got going on, and do it, with, just be in the present. I feel like I struggle with that sometimes. It's just really, really being in the moment with things, and being grateful for them, while they're happening. And I know sometimes I sit back and reflect, and I'm just like, dang, I definitely should have been, more present and in the moment, because you never know, especially with like family situations, or just seeing my loved ones, or my friends and family like y'all. You never know when it is going to be that one more. And I know he talked about it in the chapter. A lot of it's based on, because the book is, he said it too in I think it was toward the end of that chapter, or the middle of chapter 19, where he's talking about how there would be no power of one more without his dad. So you just really never know, when our time is up. So just enjoy the life you have, and just keep pushing it, and do that one more. Text that one more person. Send that one more snap, write down one more thing that you're grateful for, even when you don't think about it, or even when you don't want to do it, I should say. But make that one more phone call. But I don't know. I really like these last two chapters, especially obviously the prayer, because it has been so powerful in my life. And I know I don't know about y'all, but there's certain times when I start praying and then I just get the chills and I just know that's God's presence. You know what I mean? So just being able to go to Him with whatever, even though we are all sinners, and He knows that, but that's when He wants us, to go to Him the most is when we're struggling. So I appreciate y'all for letting me ramble a little bit, but I really enjoyed this book and I'm definitely going to go back and reread it all because it's one of them ones. And I appreciate Marcus and Mikhail for putting this on the list, especially like Michelle said at the end of the year. It's just the perfect way to really end 2023. And then I know that next book gonna be something different. We're gonna start 2024 off right. So appreciate y'all, whoever is able to and hasn't gone yet. Leave it open.
I'll go. What's poppin'? I love the way he ended the book. I seriously, it's kind of wild to see like the timing of everything in terms of where I find myself at, where I find our community at, where I find my family at, and where I find the world at, all while like reading these words. I really think over the past year, one of the most like intentional things that has made a difference in my life is understanding that like every single word has meaning. So no word, how big or small, is left out of the significance of what's being understood or what's being done or what's being created or what's being said. And my like hyper-sensed focus on every word rather than just like seeking to understand or comprehend, I'm seeking to overstand and implement and embody in my life has made me more mindful of every word, not that I just read, but that I say, that I think, and that I hear. So starting with the one more prayer, just to start off with the quote, because I knew where he was going with it. And I used to always tell everybody that like my experience at UT, as yes, expensive as it was and struggle like as difficult as it was, it actually strengthened my faith with God and got me closer in my beliefs than I've ever been before, especially coming from an environment and a background that I did where, to keep it a buck, my people believed in God but didn't fully walk in the faith. So he said, the first gulp from the glass of natural sciences will make you an atheist. But at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting. I was like, yo, that's a bar. I'm going to use that thing for a caption or something. Because, like, I know I understand it from a deeper level. I know Michelle probably understands it from a deeper level just because, like, we spent a lot of time in anatomical and physiological sciences and studies. But what I really understood in my own experiences was that even in science, even in physics, there's always a application of faith, believing in something you fully cannot prove, believing in things you cannot see, understanding how the oxygen that you breathe goes into your blood and you cannot see said oxygen. The fact that my mom is changing a diaper and that baby was literally two cells at one point, a sperm and an egg, and now he's living, breathing here with Emily. So me having gone through school, understanding that, like, yes, science was able to explain a lot of what is happening, but whenever it got down to a nitty-gritty and there was a point of like a further explanation of why things were occurring, most scientists like don't know. Most fields have no idea. There's like this unsaid belief and agreement that, like, yeah, this is what happens. We just don't know why. And as I've dove further in my studies, I was like, yo, this just confirms my own beliefs in terms of me believing in God. And the way I saw it was that, like, science explained God's existence. It didn't deter away from it. And instead of viewing them as separate entities, I viewed how they actually interacted together in order to help us, as he was talking about, have that understanding of truth and peace and knowledge and certainty and things that aren't, in times that are uncertain. And it was really powerful to me. I think I highlighted a few things. One, Michelle touched on it, but understanding what the Bible defines faith as. So Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance for what we do not see. And then he further writes, the presence of faith and the ability to pray are unique in humankind. Our ability to think conceptually above and beyond what we see, touch, and feel in the world separates us from other living beings. It allows you to create the trust and loyalty to the duty, a person or a thing that faith is reliant upon, period. And in that process, understanding that being able to apply that faith through prayer in times where you don't even want to pray, or you don't feel like feels like prayers are being fallen on deaf ears, then you just got to continuously fall back on the word, which is significant because every word in that Bible is there for a reason, like every single one. And as he was linking faith, energy, and science together, I was like, bro, I feel like I'm like Ed Mylett. Because he said that science has actually confirmed his beliefs in the complexities, the beauty, and the marvelous nature of his faith. And that's right before he brought up what Kayla said, that my almighty God, he created everything or he did not. And it's one or the other. And at the end of the day, your perception is your reality. And I just rather would live in a reality where God is the creator of everything and fall on that. Because if I die believing the other and it turns out not to be true, I'm kind of in a bad position. So in that being said, like, one, faith gives me hope and gives me light, and it's allowed me to stay present in the blessings that he's awarded me. And just be mindful, guys, as he said towards the end of the book, you are always making people feel something. The energy that attracts certain things to your life, and an energy that also repels things away from you as well. So just being mindful of that so that you can place your God first and then have everything else move after. In terms of one more, as Donnie had touched on, creating a sense of urgency in yourself, because sooner or later everything ends. And that you can't, like, fact, you cannot stop or slow down the march of time and those inevitable changes. It's not easy, change really is. So you need to learn to live your life the best way you know how before those days come, because the guarantee is we're on borrowed time. And honestly, it's like one of the biggest, I'm gonna call them like it's like a double-edged sword. Like, I'm very aware of this and I live it in my life. And then I'm very observant in how even when people know it, they still ignore it. Even when people hear it, they still don't listen to it. And they'll go their entire life and then be at a point of major change or a death in the family or the death of themselves. And they may never, ever, ever allow that to resonate in their living day-to-day life. And I'm blessed because it's allowed me to understand that it's a blessing and a burden to know that I am fully accepting of that truth. And regardless of whether or not people want to see the lens of that truth, I have to be the example. I have to live as if, like, yes, statistics show if we don't do anything reckless and are consistent with our day-to-day schedule, we have an opportunity to die when we walk out the door. But the odds are you're gonna come back home. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be saying you got an expiration date, you don't know when, and that's facts. But statistics show you're probably gonna live till 60, 70, maybe 80, if you're not doing some things that are taking off those years out of your life. So at the end of the day, like, how are you living your life and what are you contributing? Because I understand the YOLO, like you only live once type of mentality. Like I get it. But at the end of the day, like you're gonna be here until you're not. So it's just knowing that, all right, how do I make that change inevitable? And he talked about his dad. And I'm just gonna read this for those who hadn't read, just because it was powerful. He said that here's the lesson I took from what he was watching with his dad's experience. Linking huge emotional reasons to what you want to accomplish is the key to why you must be willing to go through the difficult struggles associated with change. Somebody with big enough reasons to change in their life. If you show me somebody with big enough reasons to change in their life, I'll show you somebody capable of making that change. And at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, literally on the next page, and I'll pass this thing, I related it to my current situation and where I find myself at. And he said, if you're reading this and you're thinking about quitting on your dream, a business you've started, or anything important, don't put the pressure on yourself to meet the goal for 5 or 10 years or the rest of your life. Instead, think about quitting. Think about not quitting for one more day. Get through today. Tomorrow you can start again. Hold on for one more day. Just don't quit for one more day. And eventually, even though there are no guarantees, every day that you're alive, you are reborn. And I I thank God that he allowed me to dive into the Bible when I did. And I think the main reason why, if I'm just going to be completely transparent and honest with everybody, the main reason why I was done with network marketing for a long bit of time is as some mentors have taught me in an analogy is either pushing or pulling dead bears up trees. Understanding that you want something so bad for somebody.
Yo.
Understanding that you want something so bad for somebody that you're willing to put everything. My bad. I'm trying to keep it real with y'all. But you're willing to keep put everything on the line for those people. And knowing and having to keep the faith that that might never be reciprocated and or that might never be appreciated. Not looking for the reciprocation or the appreciation. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the fact that we're gonna die. And a lot of people out here playing, and it like boils. I think one of the reasons why me and Austin got along so well is because, bro, I be struggling with frustration and anger like 100% before I started implementing emotional intelligence. Like my brother would tell me I need to go to anger management type of vibe. And that would even like take me to another level of being pissed off. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? But in that process, like, bro, I've never been more close to just wanting to, as Mikhail talked about uh on the value session this past week, on just like curling up in a ball and just quitting and giving up, or just quitting on the word I gave to each and every one of y'all, including those who aren't on the call. and just like say F it, I can literally just go win by myself. And that dynamic has literally been suffocating. Cannot cap. So having read those chapters to understand, like, even when I was like literally faced with that decision and I almost did it multiple times over the past 60 days, you have no idea. I was just reminded that like when I was faced with that, I literally just reminded myself of my faith, and I reminded myself of my ability to communicate with God, to be honest with him, and to experience exactly everything that he has, because as Donnie was saying, like I was created for this moment in time. Like it's unfortunate that the stuff played out with my jobs in the moment in time, but I was created for this moment in time. It's unfortunate that my graduation was in the middle of a pandemic, but I was created for this moment in time. And it's unfortunate I have not gotten to give my family the abundance and freedom that I'd hoped for, but I was created this moment in time. So never like felt in my life that I have like I couldn't breathe. Definitely felt that dynamic over the past 7 days. And I just had to remind myself that at the end of the day, 98% of people aren't. And I just gotta be willing to do it one more time, do it one more, and one more light, and one more positivity, and one more rep, and one more workout, and one more call, and one more meeting, and just one more, man. And at the end of the day, like one of the most amazing parts about the type of business that we're in is that we get to work with people. The most difficult part about what we do is that we get to work with people. It's like complicated, you know what I'm saying? And in that process, it's all good. I signed up for this class, and I know a lot of the lessons. At least I've been not taking the same tests over and over again. And the amount of pressure that I am feeling and seeing and experiencing is evident that I'm taking a whole new level of a test. This is not sixth grade no more. I'm in like 10th, 11th grade. I'm getting prepared to graduate. He needs to make sure we're in tune. He needs to make sure that we've got the right mindset, we've got the right type of leadership, and we've got the right pieces in place in order to go and carry out the vision. And you just have to prove it to him. He ain't gonna give you the grade just because he loves you. Like I be thinking about that. Like teachers, they love us. They are even friendly with us, but they have to maintain an aspect that like they're not our friends. They are our mentors. They're our teachers. They're showing us the way. You know, like Jesus loves us, but he is our savior and our creator. Yes, he's our friend, but above all else, he's our creator. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of like the dynamic, and then because we're godlike and given responsibilities in order to carry that out with others, you just got to understand that like the road that you're on, most people are not going to change anything to get even close to where it is you really want to be. And when you start walking that narrow path and you're on it, like prepare yourself and know that you're going to have those periods in time. What I've seen is that I thought I was going to avoid this type of like I was delusional, y'all. I thought I was going to avoid this type. Like I knew it was going to be stressful and difficult and that there were going to be challenges. But like as I go and rethink about all the stories of people that have came from nothing or came from impossible to actually fulfillment and abundance and massive influence and impact, bro, they all have created something out of nothing through faith, and they've all experienced the absolute, I call them turn back moments. You either turn back and you know where that ends up, or you keep going. And that's the only thing, you know, like I have no other choice but to keep coming. I'm grateful that I have strong enough emotional reasons with my nieces and nephew. Well, my niece and nephew, but I got multiple nieces and nephews now. It's crazy. Throughout the process. And like it's not about me, it's about like what happens when I'm gone. So I just wanted to like share and be honest with you guys where my mentality has been, because no one really understands. And in that process, like if you are signing up to create that abundance and to be that legacy changer and to be that person for your people and your family, like just prepare yourself to accept the responsibility that comes with, and know that when it comes, it's a test and it's an actual positive correlation that the new pressures, the new levels of stresses come with the elevation. If you're not seeing new levels of stress or new level of challenges or problems to overcome, you're not growing. And I'm just grateful that I've gotten that reminder over the past week through the Bible, through this book, through audios. And yeah, I'm sorry to have like rambled so long, but these two chapters were extremely powerful. And like I said, mind blowing to see the type of alignment and timing, because having read those words in a different season of my life, I don't know if I would have remembered them in this current moment in my life. Like I needed to hear those and see those words right here, right now. So that being said, I love you guys. I appreciate it. I'm gonna leave the floor open. Mama, proud of you for getting on. You know what I'm saying? And tuning in. I love you so much. But Boop, you got it. Or who else needs to go?
I think I'm the last one,
Good bet.
other than my wife. And Elijah, if he wants to pop in too. I miss anybody else? Amber went, Austin went, Michelle went, Kayla went, Donnie went, Marcus went, Mama went. Cool. So what up, y'all? One, Marcus, dude, I love you, bro. We've had some powerful talks this week where we have definitely got into the thick of it. And I'm just proud to have a business partner like yourself, proud to have a best friend like yourself, proud to have a brother like yourself, because in times where my faith falters, you've been picking me up too. So I appreciate you for just being the influence that you are, because Lord knows I be getting tired of herding cats and picking up dead bears. So, dude, to have you on the back end, bro, it's literally a life changer, bro. And I know I speak for everybody when I say we appreciate you more than literal words can say, truly. So, with that, we'll just hop right into this thing. This book is something serious. These last two chapters for me were honestly, like when it comes to prayer, I literally got my notes up on my computer. I'm about to read them to y'all. But when it comes to prayer, this is something that, especially over the last, like, what year are we in? 2024? Basically, since like 2016 type of vibe I've been on. Really, my whole life, but like really heavy since about 2016, where my life started to change a little bit. And I started to get very intentional about my faith, very intentional about my prayers, very intentional about my thoughts. And it's been a ride. So the first chapter of the two was honestly like affirming for me a lot of it, because it's how I move, you know? And with the second chapter, that was a little hard. I'm not going to cap. I had to face some old truths today. I had to be reminded of some people today and some times. And it's wild. I didn't realize like how much me and Ed Mylett had in common. It's actually wild. But hopping into these notes real fast. One, just defining faith and prayer, and just realizing exactly what prayer is. What he related it to is honestly your thoughts, your desires. And, you know, like we are a business organization too, aside from like a family and squad. So, you know, Mikhail always got to do his thing and relate it back to biz. So when it comes to business, I truly believe that in the process, you have to have times where you need to ask yourself those hard questions and test your faith. You have to dig deeper and find the answers. But all in all, being moved by faith and by prayer means getting into action. And one thing that I love that he spoke about is literally the direct correlation between faith, prayers, and the success that he has. All in all, the difference maker between highly successful people and the ones who are not highly successful, or at least where they want to be, is action. And as we all know, your actions stem from your thoughts. Your thoughts stem from your beliefs. Faith is a belief. So if you don't have faith, you probably aren't thinking the right thoughts. Therefore, you're probably not putting in any action. If you are a person like Michelle talked about and how Ed Mylett talked about, where you feel like you need to know everything before you jump into action, you're not fully living in your faith. And that's just the reality of what this book is talking about. And it's crazy because I've been trying to really put my finger on like real life and just be transparent. I've been trying to put my finger on like why we have so many traders on squad that have never traded on a live account or barely do. Feeling that they need to know everything before they actually get into the markets, before they actually need to invest for the first time, before they actually build their first website, before they actually sell their first product, before they actually drop their first piece of content, before they actually invite their first person to book club or to Bible study or to a presentation, before they actually sit down with one of their most respected and well-known family members and show them exactly what they have going on to ask their opinion about it, before they sit down with any one of the people that in their life they say they're doing things with and for, but won't show them the deal to do it with and for them. Literally, it's like, it's damn near like a slap in the face to God after a while when you keep on doing it, knowing that you have another option, knowing that you have everything that you need in order to make the other option successfully and make that choice and it actually work out in the way that you want to. It's literally like a slap in Faith's face. And it was just crazy to me as I was reading this. I was literally thinking about whole squad, like, yo, I'm so glad that we make spirituality a pillar of what we do here at TGF, because in doing that, you bring people closer to their spirit, and bringing people closer to their spirit, you actually affect their beliefs. When you affect their beliefs and they have their paradigm shift, that affects their thoughts. Their thoughts affects their actions, and eventually they have results. And then it clicked in my head the answer, like, why hasn't anybody got results? Because we only been doing this Bible study for like 6 months. Hasn't been 2 years, hasn't been 1 year that we've really been digging. Like, yeah, we've talked about being faithful, but have we been openly, transparently blunt about it to the world and to our organization? Not until the last 6 months. Truly. If I could take it a step further, I hope I ain't stepping on none of our own toes, but really the last 90 days. You know what I'm saying? We was digging in over the last 6 months, but not like that, like that. The last 90 days, though, have been seriously intentional. Truly. From the leadership to everybody who's plugging in as well. And so, one, it's just major gratitude for that, because as I was watching these pages and I was screenshotting different pages, I was just looking at everything that he was talking about, and I was like, man, this is exactly where Squad is right now. And I firmly believe that if whole Squad was able to understand this one chapter, 2024 will look completely different. Like completely different. Just understanding the power of prayer, understanding the power of faith, and actually diving into it, actually seeking more, being more surrounded, praying more, becoming more intentional, as Donnie was talking about, just with the prayers every day. So it was dope, honestly. I draw a lot of strength from my faith and prayers daily. I walked into my family event yesterday, and one of my cousins walked up to me. She grabbed me, pulled me over by the closet where we were taking off our coats. She said, "Cuz, are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, cuz, I'm fine. What you mean?" She's like, "You just walked in here with a heavy spirit." I was like, "Damn, cuz, I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a week. It definitely has. This last 14 days have been so wild that I literally have not known what day it is every single day. Had a whole call with Amber yesterday. She called me. I woke up out of my sleep, answered the phone. And she was like, "Hey, we have a call scheduled." So I was about to see if we were about to do it. I was like, "What day is this?" Like, it's Friday. I'm like, yo, I feel like I just drummed at church 48 hours ago. Like, literally. But there's been mountains every single day that we have been climbing over and making sure that we had to get over, that it's been wild. And literally, I have applied this just live one more day principle into my life over the last 14 days, more than I have ever, truly. And so it was just really cool to hear Ed talk about these exact same things in a book. I've never really like in a personal development book, I've never seen it like this. John Maxwell be going in about church, but like about how he came in and led the church. So he relates it more so like business and leadership. This was straight about prayer and faith. And it wasn't meant like when you pick up the power of one more, it says nothing about Jesus on here, religion on here, spirituality on here, whatsoever. It literally just says the ultimate guide to happiness and success. If you know, you know, but like no idea that we were going to run into this chapter. So that was really cool. And then this last chapter, didn't really take too many notes on it. Actually, before I go into that, I wanted to cover asking these questions. I didn't screenshot all of them, I just realized, but asking these questions to grow and test your faith. And when he talked about that part, he went into a few different bullet points. One was don't pray only when it suits you, pray every day. Be consistent. Another one is there are no atheists in a foxhole. By foxhole, he just meant a hard time. You're in a pinch, your back's up against the wall, period. There definitely aren't, because when you get in the foxhole, it's the first thing you do. Pray. Like, Lord Jesus, help me get out of this. But do it when he blesses you too, and that's all that bullet point is saying. When he blesses you, say, Lord Jesus, thank you, before you thank anybody else, period. And then make sure your prayers and requests are congruent with the will of your God. Donnie talked about this, but this truth is explicitly stated in 1 John 5:14. If we ask anything according to his will, he hears us. If you don't know the will, if you don't read your Bible and don't know it, what you don't know, you don't know. So don't you think it would be a little hard to ask anything according to his will if you didn't know what his will was? Quick thought. So shout out to us for actually diving in, but truly I press everybody, dive in on every day not except for Wednesday, but like in addition to Wednesday, in addition to Sunday, period. And then furthermore, when it comes to this last chapter, y'all, just to wrap this thing up, one, he talked about having deep enough emotional reasons that you succeed. I'm gonna be real. One of my deepest emotional reasons for succeeding in network marketing was my grandmother, who introduced me to network marketing as a baby, my Nana Brenda. And at the top of this year, January 2nd, when she passed, literally threw my whole life for a loop. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I have been struggling in silence really all year long with this and the grief that's just been on my heart and the void that's been in there. But one, just being able to recollect the memories of like being a child and the influences I had and how I literally would not be a Christian if it was not for this woman, how I literally would not go to church if it was not for this woman, how I literally would not be as personable if it was not through this woman. If I hadn't had that early influence in my life, then when we kind of like, we spent like basically a good almost 10 years just really being extremely distant because my stepdad was not right at the time. And very similar to how Ed talked about, you just didn't know what dad was coming home. I had to learn those same lessons as a child, very young, because I didn't know. I could tell by the way niggas pulled into the driveway and opened up the garage, whether what music you were banging, how you walked into the door, how the door shut. I could tell you were going to come in here and whoop somebody's ass, or you were going to come in here and be smooth. We were going to joke, dance, rap, beatbox in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Happy vibes. So I got to learn a lot of those early on, and growing through an extremely abusive childhood. Every single day, all I could do was just literally think about my Nana, even on the years that I didn't see her. So literally every single day, I would just think of her and the influence that she had, and I held on to that. And that deep emotional reason was truly, I believe, the only reason I made it out of my childhood home alive. And then past making it out alive, It was the only reason I had enough strength in me to actually go for it in network marketing. And then last year when she passed, and we had already the last crazy 3 years prior. And then when she passed, it was like I lost my reason for wanting to do network marketing. I lost my reason for really, like, if I'm being honest, just giving a fuck about people for a little while. And it was something that, honestly, big shout out my man Marcus, but he's the only real one who catches like the butt end of like what I struggle with and my transparent issues on the back end, because that's my best friend and I know I can be openly honest with him, truly. And he won't judge me nor forsake me for it, just like God won't. And so, one, again, bro, thank you, because I know I've had moments where I've definitely steeped below the bar that I've set for myself. And in the process of Ed just talking about one more last time, I literally remember being in the hospital with her. It was just me and her there. I was there for a few hours, 48 hours before she passed. She stood up. I helped her stand up, literally lifted this grown ass woman to give me a hug out of the hospital bed. She couldn't even stand on her own 2 feet. Literally, I was holding her up and took every ounce of strength in me, but it was the one thing I needed at that point in time. And as we moved forward, as I kind of dealt with the grief in my heart, I just morphed the energy to be like, you know what? She got me on the back end, period. And because of her, this vision will come true. And it's the reason why, like, yes, I've been a little distant from network marketing over the past year, but bro, this vision of what we have with TGF, she believed in it. She was proud of me for it. She knew what kind of difference we were going to make. And at times, for years, she was the only one who believed in my dream. So when it comes to my emotional reason, even though she's not here today, like, yes, my family, yes, y'all, whole squad, but real life, one of the keystones in my life was definitely this woman. And over the past year, it's definitely been a struggle, but shout out Ed for just making me relive a lot of these memories and just understanding, like, yo, we got angels, all of us who are dealing with grief, all of us who are going through this season of time. We got angels and we got a God who has literally prepped us for this season and told us that it will be done. We've been diving into his word so we know his will. And we've been consistently asking for what we want, but also consistently acting in the way that'll bring it to us. So I just want to say thank y'all for joining in on this journey, believing in the vision, co-creating the vision, taking ownership in the vision. Like, it literally means the world to me, because in this season, just like Marcus, I have been more close to giving up on all of this shit more than I could ever imagine. But truthfully, I literally can't, because when I sit down at my desk and I'm like, man, I don't even want to build a site. I don't even want to call these people back. I literally just always look at this freaking picture frame of her in Brooklyn sitting on my desk, and she speaks to me. I can hear her voice right now. So I just want to let y'all know, as I said this past Wednesday, as Kayla said, as we all know, we are never alone. It's never as bad as you think it is. And all in all, let's go do what God put us here to do. Let's not take another second, doubt ourselves. We'll have moments, yes, but let's just remember this talk. Let's remember this book. If we need to go crack this open one more time, if we need to throw it in the roto again for next year, let's do it. You know, I'm definitely down. But truthfully, y'all, I just really want you guys to remember, like, y'all all have $1 million story, and you guys all have a vision way deep down that will indirectly and directly impact thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. And if you just keep going, eventually you'll start to see it come to fruition. And it's a beautiful thing. As you, like, we literally just built an app where they're about to load in 3,000 different agents into an app that all y'all co-created. They white labeled our design of TGF, paid us for the design, even white labeled a couple of our programs. And in that process, now they're about to go and affect their entire company that's open in 23 different states of people that we don't know. Y'all actually know some people, those of you guys who went to high school with Marcus, who literally work for this company. And we're just out here directly and indirectly changing lives. As we put out more and more products into the world, we're directly and indirectly changing lives. As we continuously grow and shine our lights, you never know how many lives the 11 of us, the 10 of us are actually going to impact on this planet. So just let that be known. Let that be the driving force behind what you got going on, and recognize that when you want to quit, it's not for you. Your gift is not for you at all whatsoever. Your energy is not for you at all whatsoever. God put you here to help his people. So understand that and let's work. I love y'all. And Marcus, I'm going to pass it back to you since you opened this thing up.
Elijah, do you have anything, brother? Badoo, boo, badoo. I think he might be working. Going once. Going once. So, all right, what's poppin', y'all? Apologies, I had to get out the house to walk over quick. But turn off my bow. Y'all hear me? See me okay? Oop, all right, bet. So I appreciate everyone hopping on. Thanks for always, you know what I'm saying, tuning in and plugging in and showing up, not for squad, not for anybody else, not for me, not for Mikhail, but for yourself, truly. Oh, T, I just seen your camera. Hold on. You wanna chime in real quick? This boop boop boop. Just what was like one of the biggest takeaways you got from everything that was said today about the last two chapters of One More Prayer and the power of one more?
Or the whole book, because even though you ain't read, girl, you've been on every single week. So shout out T, because there's a lot of people on squad who don't read and don't hop on. So shout out you, baby. I love you, girl.
I'm on every call, but I don't always catch everything, if I'm being honest, because the kids be loud and I be distracted. But y'all know I hate this question. I think that I just I need to read the next book. So everybody just text me and be like, read. Just send me text that says read, so that I'll be able to participate better in the next book, because I don't want to just put some summary from everybody's stuff. I just want to be able to take my own knowledge from whatever I read and say it. But everybody had great stuff to say, and definitely all we can do is live another day, keep going, get up, pick yourself up off the floor if you have to, try again, and keep going, keep pushing, y'all. Everyone's been in a season, and I know the holidays are hard. Daddy's downstairs, but we're gonna make it. Everyone's gonna make it through. We're gonna see each other in a few days, and it's gonna be that reunion that we all need. We're gonna embrace each other, love each other, and just celebrate and bring the new year in the right way. And I think 2024 is gonna be something big for us. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, and Merry Christmas to everybody ahead of time.
Appreciate you, girl. Amen. But yeah, everyone, y'all know the vibes. Again, just a reminder, no book club next weekend as we got unlimited. In terms of that, if you haven't seen or checked out any of the posts or promos about unlimited, we are offering a $75 ticket at the door for Sunday nights. Meaning, like, people can buy the ticket now. It's not just sold at the door, but the doors won't open for that ticket till like 8:00, 8:30. So VIP holders who have the goal setting event, you're still gonna have a whole cocktail hour, along with the award ceremony.
And those who just have the $75 ticket are gonna also get food, be able to see the award ceremony if they show up on time. But also everybody's gonna have a drink, and then we're having a whole show for everybody in the room, which is super exciting. That being said, like, yes, it's open. Like, the $75 open for people that want to actually have it, but like, just be mindful. Invite the people that you want to have in the room. You know, I know a lot of people that go spend money. Think about it. It's the holiday season. People be spending money regardless. And in that process, just be mindful of like who you want to be in the room to connect and to collaborate with, to create some memories with, and to genuinely, intentionally build a relationship with. It's a great opportunity for them to enjoy some of the stuff that we've set up for squad, but to see exactly the type of community that we are and be able to feel the love before the new year, you know? So yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a very, very, very elevated social, because it's our goal setting event. So I'm excited to be in the room for the goal setting day on Saturday. I'm excited to be in the room to be on the goal to celebrate with all you guys on Sunday. And I'm hoping everybody has a blessed Christmas. Again, in terms of book club, we are going to be holding off until the following week, where we'll kick off Don't Drop the Mic by TD Jakes. I have some homework to actually make sure all the chapters for each book club are up to date for you guys, so that you have exactly what we're reading when on the details of the events in the app and on the website. So you guys just stay positive, stay hopeful, enjoy your time with family, be present. You know what I'm saying? And tell your people how much you love them and you care about them this holiday season. Pray over them, for those who are strong in their faith and are around individuals who are not. Don't be afraid to talk about it. In fact, be the light. You know what I'm saying? Allow them to feel you, allow them to hear you, allow them to see you. And in that process, you know, just know that, as Mikkel said, we're not alone and we all got this together. So I love you guys. I'm grateful for all of y'all. And we'll see you guys at the top. The bottom is way too crowded. Peace, fam. Much love.
Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I'll tell those of you that are here. Just
What
like
were you
with
gonna
Austin,
say?
the book is in the updated library. I don't know if everybody caught my comment in the chat, but it's in the app already. Just letting niggas know.
Okay,
Bet you he forgot that he wasn't the host either. This all good. I love y'all.
He just gets off. That's so funny.
Funny. Because his computer is still recording too. That's what's hilarious. So all of this will be on the recording. I love y'all. Let's go.
Bye,
Happy
guys.
Saturday. Merry Christmas. Love you guys.
Bye.